Good morning, students. In the last session we have discussed about half wave rectifier, center tapped full wave rectifier and bridge rectifier. Now we are going to discuss about filters. So in the regulated power supply, the first block is transformers, then the transformer of step down transformer. The output of step down transformer is applied to rectifier and the output of rectifier is applied to filters. So we will see what is the function of the filter, what is the necessity of the filters, what are the different types of filters we are using to convert AC to DC signals. So first we will see what is a filter. So actually the output of rectifier is applied to filters, right? The output of rectifier contains both DC components and AC components. The output of rectifier contains both DC components and AC components. Filters are used to minimize the undesirable AC. So actually our target is convert AC to pure DC signal. So in that process, so we are using rectifiers, filters and regulators. The function of the filter is it converts. So it is used, the filter is used to minimize the undesirable AC signal. That is, so ripple, leaving only the DC component to appear at the output. So to minimize the AC component, we are using filters after the rectifier section. So after the rectifier section, we have both AC and DC components. So to minimize that AC component, we are using the filters. So the unwanted AC components present in the output are called ripples. The unwanted AC components in the output are called ripples. So to remove that ripples from the output of a rectifier, we use a device or circuit called filter. So filter is a circuit that is used to reduce the ripple content present in the rectified output. The ripple content of rectified output can be filtered out by connecting a inductor is in series with the RL or a capacitor in parallel with the RL. So the ripple content can be removed. The ripple content can be removed by connecting a inductor in series with RL and a capacitor in parallel with RL. Okay. So actually the output from rectifiers is not pure DC. The output of the rectifier is not pure DC. It contains both AC and DC signals. So in half wave rectifier, ripple content is 121%, whereas in full wave rectifier it is 48%. So to obtain pure DC, filter circuits are used. So to obtain pure DC, filter circuits are required. So the output from rectifiers is not pure DC, so due to the ripple content, so the half wave rectifier ripple content is more compared to full wave rectifier and bridge rectifier. So in half wave rectifier the ripple content is 121% and in the full wave rectifier the ripple content is 48%. So to get pure DC, we are using the filters. See here, see these waveforms. So it is a rectifier output. So this rectifier output is applied to filter, then you will get the filter output. So it is a filter output. So rectifier output is applied to the filter. At the output of filter, we are getting this type of waveform. So it is a filter output. The output of a filter is not exactly a constant DC level. So even though the output of a filter is not exactly a constant DC level, but it contains a small component, a small amount of AC. The filter output also contains a small amount of AC. Okay, so that's why the output of filter is coming like this. The output of filter also contains a small amount of AC content. So what are the different types of filters? So see here, the types of filters are inductor filter, capacitor filter, LC filter or L section filter, CLC filter or pi section filter. So these are the different types of filters. So we are using in the regulated power supply. So inductor filter, capacitor filter, LC filter and CLC filters. So CLC filter is also called pi section filter. Here we are using capacitor, inductor and capacitor. So in L section filter we are using the inductor and capacitors. See first. So we will discuss inductor filter. See here. So it is a circuit diagram of inductor filter. The rectifier output. So generally we are using the full wave rectifier. So the output of full wave rectifier is applied to this filter circuit. So in this inductor filter, inductor is connected in series with the load resistor. Inductor is connected in series with the load resistor. So here, when the output of the rectifier passes through an inductor, when the output of the rectifier passes through an inductor, it blocks the AC component and allows only the DC component. So the inductor blocks AC component and allows DC component. So here the inductor is always connected in series with the load resistor. This inductor blocks the AC component and allows the DC component. So actually the rectifier output contains both AC and DC. Here the inductor blocks the AC component here itself, then it allows the DC component to the load. So here the ripple factor of the inductor is RL by 3 root 2 omega L. That is the ripple factor of the inductor. So see the waveforms without filter and with filter waveforms. See here. So it is a without filter waveform, and this one is with filter waveform. So this one is with filter waveform. So in inductor filter, the ripple factor can be decreased either by increasing the inductor value or decreasing load resistance. So the ripple factor is RL by 3 root 2 omega L. So here the ripple factor can be decreased either by increasing the inductor value or decreasing the load resistance. So it is RL by 3 root 2 omega L. If you decrease the load resistance, the ripple factor can be decreased. Or if you increase the inductor value, the ripple factor can be decreased. Okay. So always decreasing of RL is preferred rather than increasing inductor value. So because as L increases, its size, weight and cost also increases. If the inductor value increases, the ripple factor decreases, but the size, weight and cost also increases. So the size of the circuit, so weight of the circuit and cost of the circuit also increases if inductor value increases. So that's why here we are going to decrease the RL. So decreasing of RL is preferred rather than increasing the inductor value. So here the inductor filter is more effective only when the load resistance is small. If the load resistance is small, the load current is high. If the load resistance is small, then the load current is high. So this filter is more effective only when the load resistance is small. If you decrease the load resistance, then the ripple factor of the inductor filter can be decreased. See here, the output of a full wave rectifier is, so V naught equal to 2 Vm by pi minus 4 Vm by pi. So this we can write cos 2 omega t by 3 plus cos 4 omega t by 15 plus cos 6 omega t by 35. It is the, and so on. It is the output of a full wave rectifier. So if you express the output of a full wave rectifier in mathematical expression, then the output will be like this. So here second order, third order and higher order terms. So neglecting the third and higher order terms. So in this equation, neglect the third and higher order terms, then V naught becomes 2 Vm by pi minus 4 Vm by pi cos 2 omega t by 3. So 2 Vm by pi minus 4 Vm by pi cos 2 omega t by 3. So from this equation, the first term represents the DC component. So this 2 Vm by pi represents the DC component, and second term represents the AC component. So it consists of both DC and AC components. So that's why the rectified output, so V naught contains so DC component and AC component. So this first term represents the DC component and the second term represents the AC component. So here VDC is 2 Vm by pi and IDC is, so from this we can calculate IDC. So VDC by RL, that is equal to VDC equal to 2 Vm by pi into RL. Here the IDC is 2 Vm by pi into RL. Okay, that is the DC component. So next, so here Z equal to RL plus J2 omega L. So take the magnitude, then it becomes square root of RL square plus 4 omega square L square. So Z equal to RL plus J2 omega L. So here RL is in series with the inductor. So I naught becomes 2 Vm by pi RL minus 4 Vm by 3 pi. See here in this equation. So 2 Vm by pi into RL minus 4 Vm by 3 pi into cos 2 omega t minus pi by square root of RL square plus 4 omega square L square. It is the AC component. We know that IDC equal to Vm by pi into RL and IRMS equal to 4 Vm by, so it is the final, it is the complete output. I naught is the complete output current. So it contains both DC and AC quantities. So here IDC is 2 Vm by pi into RL and IRMS. So RMS current is 4 Vm by 3 pi root 2 into 1 by square root of RL square plus 4 omega square L square. So actually we know that the ripple factor is VRMS by VDC. The ripple factor is VRMS by VDC or IRMS by IDC or VAC by VDC. It is the ratio of RMS quantity to DC quantity. The ripple factor is the ratio of RMS quantity to DC quantity, right? So substitute this VRMS or IRMS and IDC in this equation. Here the ripple factor is IRMS by IDC. So we know that IRMS is this one and IDC is 2 Vm by pi RL. If you substitute these two in this equation, then we get, so it is 2 RL by 3 root 2 into RL square plus 4 omega square L square. It is 2 by 3 root 2 into 1 by square root of 1 plus 2 omega L by RL whole square. So from this, so here the ripple factor is this one, 2 by 3 root 2 to 1 by square root of 1 plus 2 omega L by RL whole square. In the first case, if RL is very small, in the first case, if RL is very small, then 2 omega L by RL whole square is greater than 1, right? So here, if RL is small, so 2 omega L by RL whole square is greater than 1. Then the ripple factor becomes 2 by 3 root 2 into RL by 2 omega L. So it becomes RL by 3 root 2 omega L. RL by 3 root 2 omega L. So in the second case, if RL is very large, 2 omega L by RL whole square is less than 1, then the ripple factor is 2 by 3 root 2, that is equal to 0.471. So if RL is very large, if RL is very small, so the ripple factor of the inductor filter is RL by 3 root 2 omega L. So in this inductor filter, ripple factor can be decreased either by increasing the inductor value or decreasing the load resistance. So decreasing of RL is preferred rather than increasing inductor value. So because of size, weight and cost of the inductor. So here, to decrease the ripple factor of the inductor filter, the RL should be minimized. So that is the ripple factor of the inductor filter. Next we will see capacitor filter. Capacitor filter. See the circuit diagram of capacitor filter. So the rectified output is applied to the capacitor filter. Here the capacitor is in parallel with the load resistor, whereas in the inductor filter the inductor is in series with the load resistor, but in the capacitor filter the capacitor is in parallel with the load resistor. The capacitor is in parallel with the load resistor. Okay. So see the input and output waveforms. So input waveform, that is the rectified output waveform, and the voltage across the capacitor. So see this output waveform, capacitor filter output waveform. Here the capacitor allows AC and it blocks DC signal. The capacitor allows AC signal. See here, the capacitor allows AC signal and blocks the DC signal. So that's why the capacitor is connected in parallel with the load resistor. So the capacitor is always connected in parallel with the load resistor. So during the positive half cycle, of the input, the diode D1 conducts and charges the capacitor to the peak value of Vm of the input voltage. See here, during the positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts and charges the capacitor to the peak value of Vm of the input voltage. The input voltage falls below Vm, the diode stops conducting. If the input voltage decreases, by Vm, the diode stops conducting. Now the capacitor starts discharging through load resistor and the capacitor voltage decreases. So during the positive half cycle, the capacitor is going to charge. During the negative half cycle, the capacitor is going to discharge through the load resistor. Okay. So during the positive half cycle of the input, the diode D1 conducts and charges the capacitor. When the input voltage falls below Vm, the diode stops conducting. That means the diode becomes reverse biased. So the capacitor starts discharging through the load resistor RL and the capacitor voltage decreases. So here it is the charging of the capacitor. When this voltage falls below Vm, then the capacitor is going to discharge here. From this point to this point, the capacitor is going to discharge. So from here T1 is the charging time and T2 is the discharging time. T1 is the charging time and T2 is the discharging time. The discharging of the capacitor continues until the diode D2 starts conducting again in the next half cycle and charges the capacitor. So this discharging continues until the diode D2 starts conducting. So it continues until the diode D2 starts conducting again in the next half cycle. So from here again the capacitor is going to charge. Okay. Here the value of the capacitor is large, or the value of the load resistance is very large. So see the input waveform and output waveforms of the capacitor filter. So it is the input waveform, this one is the output waveform. So this is capacitor charging time and this one is capacitor discharging time. Okay. Okay. Okay, right. So here the charge has acquired, it is V peak to peak into C. The charge it has lost, that is IDC into T2. The charge lost is IDC into T2. The charge acquired is V peak to peak into C. Here charge acquired equal to charge lost, right? So if the value of the capacity is large or the value of the load resistance is large, then it can be assumed that the time T2 is equal to half the periodic time of the waveform. Then T2 equal to T by 2. So it is 1 by 2f. So that's why V peak to peak equal to IDC by 2fc. IDC by 2fc. So based on this, the ripple waveform will be triangular, right? So based on this charging and discharging, the ripple waveform looks like a triangle. So the RMS value of the ripple is, and the RMS value of the triangular waveform, it is Vrms equal to, so V peak to peak by 2 root 3. So Vr peak to peak by 2 root 3. So from this we have Vrms equal to IDC by 4 root 3 Fc. So here VDC by 4 root 3 Fc into RL. So because IDC equal to VDC by RL. So therefore the ripple factor becomes 1 by 4 root 3 Fc RL. Here ripple factor is Vrms by VDC. Vrms by VDC. So it becomes 1 by 4 root 3 Fc into RL. So it is the ripple factor of the capacitor filter. The ripple factor of the inductor filter is RL by 3 root 2 omega L. So in the capacitor filter, the ripple factor is 1 by 4 root 3 Fc into RL. 1 by 4 root 3 Fc into RL. Here the ripple may be decreased by increasing capacitor, by increasing capacitance value. By increasing capacitance value or load resistor. So here how to decrease the ripple factor? The ripple factor may be decreased by increasing CRRL. So by increasing the capacitor value, or by increasing the RL, load resistor, the ripple may be decreased in this capacitor filter. Okay. So that is about capacitor filter. Next, LC filter or L section filter. LC filter or L section filter. So inductor filter, ripple factor is directly proportional to RL, whereas in capacitor filter, ripple factor is inversely proportional to RL. So in the inductor filter, the ripple factor is directly proportional to RL, but in the capacitor filter, it is inversely proportional to RL. So in LC filter or L section filter, so the inductor is connected in series and the capacitor is connected in parallel to the load resistor. Okay. So here the ripple factor can be made independent of RL by combining inductor and capacitor filters. So here we are combining the inductor filter and capacitor filter. So the ripple factor can be made independent of RL. In LC filter, most of the AC component is filtered at inductor since it offers very high reactance to the AC components. So in the LC filter, first of all, the rectified output is applied to the inductor. The property of the inductor is it blocks AC and it allows DC content, right? So initially, most of the AC component is blocked in the inductor. So most of the AC component is filtered at inductor since it offers very high reactance to AC components. The output of the inductor contains large DC and small AC, even though the output of the inductor contains AC content. So the output of the inductor contains large DC and small AC. So and the remaining AC component, that small AC component, is filtered by the capacitor. So the output contains almost pure DC component. So here we are using inductor and capacitor filter. So that's why we are getting better results than inductor and capacitor filters in LC filters. So it is the ripple factor. So it is 1 by 6 root 2 into omega square LC. Here ripple factor is independent of RL. In the inductor filter, so in the LC filters, the ripple factor is independent of RL. So we can reduce the ripple factor by increasing either L or C. Okay. So here we can reduce the ripple factor by increasing either inductor or capacitor values. So it does not depends on the load resistor. So it is independent of load resistor. So to reduce the ripple factor, we can increase either inductor or capacitor values. So next one is CLC filter or pi section filter. So it is a diagram of CLC filter or pi section filter. So two capacitors and one inductor. Here we are using the two capacitors and one inductor. So pi filter is a combination of C filter and LC filters. Pi filter is a combination of C filter and LC filters. Here the ripple in the output of C filter is further reduced by L section. So if we use double section LC filter, there will be a small DC voltage drop across first inductor. Okay. So here the ripple factor is root 2 into XC1 by XL and XC2 by RL. So it depends on load resistor. So there are the comparisons of capacitor, inductor, LC and pi filters. So in inductor filter, only inductor is used. In capacitor filters, only capacitor is used. In LC filters, one inductor and one capacitor is used. In pi filters, one inductor and two capacitors are used. So inductor filter, the load regulation is moderate. In the capacitor filter, the load regulation is poor. In LC filters, the load regulation is good. Here in the pi filters, the load regulation is very good. Inductor filter, the ripple factor is high, so compared to remaining filters. In capacitor, LC, so here the ripple factor is low in capacitor filter. In LC filters, the ripple factor is lower, and in pi filter, the ripple factor is lowest. So inductor filter is suitable for heavy loads. The capacitor filter is suitable for light loads. The LC filter is suitable for light as well as heavy loads. And the pi filter is suitable for light loads. So the inductor filter is used in high current DC supply. The capacitor filter is used in cell chargers, the small eliminators, The LC filters, it is used in DC power supplies. The pi filters are also used in DC power supplies. Okay, these are the comparison of different types of filters, the ripple factors, and the efficiency and the applications of different types of filters. So with this, I am going to stop the presentation. Thank you.